Hey there, this is Erica from Ever Educating, and this channel is all about teaching tips, tools, ideas, and resources for new college instructors or even high school teachers. And today we're talking about some tips, some tricks, some accessories for mask wearing when you're teaching. So I've been mask wearing when teaching for the past 7-8 months since last fall semester, and it's still a struggle. It's still something that causes me to get a bit overheated, a little bit anxious, a bit claustrophobic. But these are a few ways to make it a bit easier for yourself to wear a mask when you are teaching, for hours at a time. So the first tip is to find a mask that you find as comfortable as possible to wear. So in my case, we did have these medical masks at home, and so I found it to be the easiest one to wear. It was the most breathable versus the other ones we had purchased that are like cloth masks. So, step one, right? Find the right mask for you. In my case, I go ahead and open it up and make sure to pinch the nose very carefully in order to prevent that fogging from happening too much. One trick for that is to really make sure it's close to your nose so you don't have that effect as often. It still happens sometimes, but not too much, thankfully. And so this is just what I wear. I wear this medical one, but find out what works for you. You might have to experiment still to see one that you feel is most breathable, that you can, teach through pretty easily, right? Because you're gonna have to project a lot more because you're wearing a mask. So tip one, find the right mask for you. In my case, I like these medical ones. Okay, now my second tip is not mask related, but I've mentioned it before, and that's to have a water bottle that has a straw, right? Because in this case, it makes it much easier to drink when you have a mask on, because you can just do this. And you're done, right? So you don't have to actually take off the mask to drink from a bottle that doesn't have a straw, right? You have to kind of really move it around. With this, you can just go underneath, take a little sip, and there you go. And this is important because staying hydrated is going to be really key because of how tiring it can get to wear a mask when you're speaking. Your mouth gets really dry, your lips get really dry. So that's one tip as well, is to always have a straw water bottle with you. And of course, I recommend getting one that's built in rather than using plastic straws. So I'll link this bottle below, as well as another one that I really like too that has a straw as well. Now, what if your mask is really tight and you're not that comfortable with it, but it's the best one that you have? Another option is to get one of these, which one of my colleagues gave me, so thank you very much, Ashley. And basically it's a bracket that goes underneath your mask. So it gives you a bit more space because it's on the nose and it kind of pushes out the mask a bit. So I'll show you how that works here. You put it underneath, cover your nose, right? And now you have it ready to go. So I'm not sure if you hear me any clearer now, maybe you do, but this is another avenue as well. You still have, nice and protected, but you do have a bit more breathing room. It's a bit easier to project your voice because there's more space between the cloth and your actual lips. Okay, so again, I'll link these below in case you're interested. They're very inexpensive, and again, they're easy to use. When you're done or when you don't need them, you just take it out and you can go on your merry way. So as you can see here, I don't know if you've noticed, but I've been wearing a mask as well. And so another tip is to have some kind of necklace, some kind of band that holds a mask on you. So if you're walking to your car and you're alone outside, you can just take off your mask and just walk to your car so you can start breathing a bit easier on your way to wherever it is you're going. Or if you're in your office and you're alone, you can take off your mask. But you don't want to put it on a table, right? You don't want to put it somewhere and maybe forget it when you're going, and then now you realize you're in the hallway and you're maskless. So I do recommend having some kind of chain that attaches to your mask on each side in order to make sure that it just basically hangs around your neck whenever you don't need to use it. And then when you do, you go ahead and put it on. Right, so this is another one. It fits very comfortably. It doesn't bother your ears or anything because you just wear it low. And so this is another tip that, whenever you don't need it, take it off, and now it's hanging. You don't have to worry about losing it somewhere or misplacing it. So I do recommend this. This I got from a friend whose friend curates them. So I'll see if I can find her shop in particular below. If not, I'll give some other links of chains that are really easy to use for this purpose. Another option that helps with mask wearing is having a clip that now they create all the time, where you clip your mask to the back of your head rather than the back of your ears. So I'll show an image of that now. But if you don't want to go out and buy it, it could be easier, I think, because it's pretty inexpensive. But if you don't want to go out and buy it, I recommend DIYing it. And so in this case, all you do is you have 2 hair ties or 2 rubber bands, and a safety pin right in the back. And now you have it where you can put it around your head rather than around your ears. So in this case, again, okay, put it on so it fits properly, right? But rather than being around your ears, it's around my neck in this way, right? So it's still properly on, but I don't have to worry about having it on my ear the whole time. Or if you want to, you can just raise it up, right? So in this case, okay, it's around the ears. So again, you don't have to worry about the coverage, but rather than attaching to my ears, it's attaching to that safety pin above my ponytail. Okay, so this is another way of making, again, your mask wearing a bit easier. It does tighten a bit sometimes, which could be helpful for safety purposes, though maybe it's a bit uncomfortable as well. So you might have to find bigger hair bands or bigger rubber bands in order to use this. And again, you can look at clips and just buy those instead. But it does make it really easy to make sure that your ears aren't bothered when you're teaching for long periods of time. And to take it off, again, very easy. You can just lift over your head and now it's done, right? And you can put it down and go on your merry way. You can also still attach the band to it, so it's multi-purpose in that sense as well. Since there is a safety pin, it's not gonna fall off the contraption you made. So you can just use both as well and have it down here when you're not using it. If you want to see my videos on other struggles I'm having when hybrid teaching or just some tips for hybrid teaching, I do have a whole playlist below that I'll link for you. But overall, these are just some tips I have for mask wearing. If you have your own suggestions, let me know in the comments. And again, click like if you found this video helpful and subscribe if you want to make sure not to miss out on any future tips.